Episode number 146 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones and tablets with us, Geeks on Tour. Our beginner's lesson today is how to use QR codes, but Chris has a quick tip. What do you have, Chris?
Well, more of an announcement. Just very excited to say that we have finished the edits for Mrs. Geek's guide to
Well, there might
Google
be a few
Photo.
more.
Oh, yeah, there might be a few more. Yeah, so it is the second edition now. We've been updating it on our website all along, but it's been the original one that's been in print on Amazon. We are getting ready to send this to Amazon, but meanwhile, it is the new version that is on our website, the second edition to Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos. There are 5 more chapters.
No wonder I've been so busy.
There is a complete index. The index, was pretty wimpy, the last one, and I've really done a lot of work because I want this to be both a reference as well as a readable how-to. I mean, you can read this whole book in one day. If you just want to go cover to cover and understand, and I wish people would, because you'll do so much better if you've just read it through once. But then there is this complete index. You'll be able to find anything you need about Google Photos there.
Cool.
Made sure that all the instructions are up to date. Of course, they'll be out of date tomorrow, but they're up to date as to right now. And since it does get out of date so quickly, and since there's always more to learn, I've made a companion page at Geeks on Tour, and this I gotta show you. So, I get out to, okay. So go to Geeks on Tour. Go to Geeks on Tour. And then it's you just do geeksontour.com and then /Google-Photos. And that will take you straight to, if you spell it right, it will take you straight to the companion page.
I've never seen this page before. What is this?
Google-Photos. Yeah, the arrow for. There you go. Google Photos resource page. And there's all stuff here. But one of the things I am proudest of, if you click right here, all Google Photos articles by Mrs. Geek. Click there and you will just see over 100, maybe 200 all articles on using Google Photos. And those are all free. And have at it. And then I've also included all of the button shows that are just about Google Photos, all the videos that are in the book, all the Google Photos videos completely, and then useful discussions from the official Google Photos help forum, and then even more about Google Backup and Sync, Google Drive. That is the most complex area, so I deal with that specifically. So that is the companion page that goes along with the book. And the book now covers new features like shared libraries, Google Lens, which if you've never heard of that, we will be touching on it today. The new feature called Favorites, which we showed you last week, updated videos, and this ebook is now available for members. If you're a member, you just go to geeksontour.com and go to your login page and you'll see ebooks. So this ebook is there now. The print version will be available at Amazon at the latest by August 1st.
You think?
Right?
Oh, okay.
That's what we're aiming for, I think. So do not buy it at Amazon right now. Wait, because it's version 1.
The new version, and we haven't. It's still available. The old version is still available on Amazon in case you want a collector's item.
And this show is about QR codes. So what I'm going to do, if you watch real close, you'll be able to get the ebook for free today because I'm going to create a QR code for it. So if you're watching, when we do that, you'll be able to scan the code from the screen and get the current version of Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos.
That should be fun.
All right. And yeah, this is the resource page. I showed you that live. That's it for my quick tip.
Okay. Well, I'm Jim, and here together with my wife, Chris, we are Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your iPhone or your Android? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks who teach, and we think the best way to learn is on a regular basis in bite-sized pieces. So we pick a topic and we give you a lesson every week.
Cool. Where are we now, Chris?
We're home.
So
but not for long. And you went diving yesterday.
I did. I went diving yesterday. I went out with my son, Devin, and his cousin, Brian, who is a fairly new diver, and he's pretty gung-ho. Devin's been diving for quite some time now, but it's been a while since he was out. So we did a shore dive off of the beach right here in Fort Lauderdale Beach, and that's...
I stayed home and worked on the Google Photos book.
That's because my job, part of it was done. I'm ready. I'm just waiting for you to. So we did come home to go on vacation. We're leaving Wednesday. We're going to Grand Cayman. We'll be there for several evenings, and then we get on a Cayman Aggressor. It's a live-aboard dive boat, and we'll be cruising around the Cayman Islands doing scuba diving for our 20th wedding anniversary coming up on the 4th of July. We won't have a show next week.
Definitely not. We'll be blowing bubbles.
All right. Our beginner's lesson today, QR codes. What are they and how to use them and how to make them?
We have done this topic a couple of times before, actually, a year and a half ago in episode 103, and then somewhere way at the beginning of this. But guess what?
It's changed.
There's new stuff to show you.
I know.
And I'll bet you that a lot of people watching have not seen episode 103. So we're going to review the basics as well. First of all, what is a QR code? It's that funny looking square thing. And if you know how to scan it, it can just do all sorts of good stuff for you. You do need a mobile device. You can't scan with a computer or...
Not that I'm aware of.
I guess you probably could with that.
Maybe with the Chromebook.
Yeah.
But that's...
With an Android app.
I'll have to check.
Now, iPhones, if you're up to date with your operating system, iOS 11 or higher, they do not need an app. The iPhones just open the camera, but that's still an app.
Mm-hmm.
So you just use the camera app to scan a code, and we will show you that. But most other phones need a QR scanning app, and we will show you that. Some of the Androids, I don't know which models though, some Android models do just use the camera app to scan a QR code. You need an internet connection. This is something that kind of stumps me. You know, I figured, well, I have the phone and the camera and the app. It should just work. But no, if you don't have a way to get to the internet, it can't work. It has to decipher by checking resources that are online.
Yeah, I just kind of refer to these things as links, web links printed.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to demo a couple here. First, with the iPhone, I'm going to show you what we mean by this is Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos. And in addition to plenty of text, there are places in the book where we put a QR code. We do that in order to give you a way to watch our videos. So here is how it works. I'm going to do it with the iPad, just because the iPad is a great way to watch a video, right? So you only need the camera app. So I'm just opening up the camera, and then actually you hold it. I think it's better for them to see this way as I scan it. So you just focus on the QR code with the camera. Up a little bit. There. And a notification appears up at the top. You just tap on that notification, and now I'll show you under here. Just tap on that notification, and it does whatever that QR code was programmed to do, which in our case is take you to a page on our website where you can watch a video.
Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks on Tour, and I want to show you how to edit a photo in Google Photos so that it takes up the full screen in a widescreen device. I open Google Photo and Google...
Okay, we're not actually going to play that for you. Just wanted to show you how it works. Now, and that's the same on an iPhone. So iPad, iPhone, as long as you're on iOS 11, all you do is open the camera app and focus on the QR code. You don't have to tap anything. You don't take a picture of it. It just does it. It's really quite cool. Now on the Android, this is Jim's phone, so are you nervous?
Yeah, I don't like it when she has my phone.
on this Android anyway, you do need an app. And the app that we like on Android is called QR Droid, right there. And then it does all sorts of things. This is how you can create QR codes as well. So I'm just going to tap on the menu and say, no, I want to scan one. And it opens up this window that shows me, oh, just get the code. It's still like a camera. And let's see if we can show it this way. You just get the code. Yeah, it's hard to see. But just point your phone at the code, get it to show up in that square, and this one just goes straight. Nothing even to tap. It just goes straight to where the video is, and you start playing it. So that's the very basics of, but now there's more here. Which one am I going to use?
I want to show you how to edit a photo.
Okay. Couple other examples here. Now, these are QR codes that I just made, and I printed them out. One of them is a contact card with somebody's name, phone number, email. And the other one is a link to the Amazon page where Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos is. So let me
Lowell
show
Ann
you.
says that she has a QR code on the back of her business card.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But one thing, make sure that that they add value. I mean, when we first did this, we put a QR code on our business card that takes you to our website, geeksontour.com. That really doesn't add much value. I like having geeksontour.com printed, and people can type that in. But something like this Amazon one, let's do it with the iPad again so that they can kind of see.
Okay, you want me to hold that then?
Yeah, hold it up there. Very good. Very good. Okay, once again, with the iPad, do I need an app? No, I just open up the camera and I'm going to focus it on that one. And when I tap the notification, it's going to take you not just to Amazon, but it's going to take you to the listing where you can just add to cart on the Google Photos book. Don't do it today because this is the old version. But imagine that. And you can even, if you have an affiliate, lots of people use affiliate codes with Amazon. You can put them on the URL that's in that QR code. Think about it. You could have a little brochure filled up with these little QR codes where people can buy your stuff.
Cool.
You can have a whole store in a brochure, and it can have your Amazon affiliate as part of the link. And then the last one here is a contact info. So that's the one up on top. And open up the camera, focus on that. And it says add Al to contacts, and it has a phone number. If I tap on that, it goes to my contacts, and it has gotten all of this information: phone number, email, web page, address, mailing address, all from that code.
Pretty
Okay.
cool.
So it doesn't even have to be on paper. So this is your turn. Hopefully you've followed along with us. And if you have an iPhone, you just open up your camera and you can scan this code. If you have an Android, you need an app, and we'll show you which one. Well, we like the QR droid, but you might not have paused this if you're watching it recorded and install a QR droid and then try scanning this code. And this code shows you yet another way you can use QR codes for a form. When you scan this code, it will be a form where you can sign up for the Geeks on Tour newsletter. And then you will get a weekly email with your technology lesson. So that's another thing that would be good to put on a brochure or on a business card. So what apps do we like? There's tons of them. And we haven't done any comparisons really, but these are the two that we use and that we like. So on the Google side, it's QR Droid. And on the Apple side, it's QR Reader by Tap Media. And one of the things I get it even for the Apple because it can make QR codes, not just read them. I mean, I don't need it to read them,
Right.
but it can also make them, and we will demo that. In fact, right now. The first demo is in one of our pre-recorded videos. Number 454 shows you how to make a map.
Hi, this
type
is Chris Gould
of
with Geeks
QR
on
code.
Tour, and I'm in this beautiful place. I noticed a little gazebo and think, wouldn't this be a great place to schedule an event? I actually think a friend of mine did get married here. I want you to imagine that you're going to have an event here and you want to print an invitation. And on the invitation, you need to give people directions and you want to make sure they get to the right place. You can do that with a QR code. I use an app called QR Droid. And look at all the different things you can do. In addition to scanning a QR code, you can create a QR code. So I press the create button and look at all the different types you can create. The one I want is the geolocation. It asks for latitude and longitude. I have no idea, but since I'm on a phone, it knows where I am, and I can record that by pressing the green bullseye under GPS, and it fills out the latitude and longitude. Then if I just tap the green arrow in the upper right hand corner, it will create the QR code for me. I can even type a little label on it, which I think is very handy. So let's call this wedding location. And this doesn't have to be a wedding. It could be you're boondocking out in the middle of the quartzite desert and you are having an event and you want to give people an accurate map of where it is, even though you're not on any roads. Very, very handy. Now, when you save it and or share it, you get a JPEG image of the QR code, which you can use in your printed invitation. So now let me show you what that would look like. We've printed the QR code on paper, and now anybody with a QR code scanner on a smartphone can read it. I'm still going to use the QR Droid, and this time I'm going to use the scan capability. And I just put the code in front of the scanner, and there we go. We have a map. You can zoom in on the map as close as you want to get. You can also press the back button on your Android phone and get out of the map to just see the lat and lawn. And now you can open Google Maps or Waze or a few other apps and actually get directions.
Cool.
We move around too much to use those, but that's absolutely a QR code you should have on your business card if you have a physical location of your business and you want people to know how to get there. Put a QR code with a map.
Bill wants to know, are you able to change information as changes occur?
Great question. That's something I just researched this morning. And yes, it's called an editable QR code. It's done by using a link shortener. So yeah, I think what Bill's asking is, let's say that I have a link to something, I make a QR code of it today to our book on Amazon. And once we update the book, the link has now changed. But that link is printed on all these brochures, all this material. I can't change the link, the QR code. Can I change the information behind it? And yes, but most of the systems I found, that's a premium feature. And
they want you to pay for that.
And the main one I was looking at anyway, if you wanted to be able to go back and edit the contents of a QR code, you had to be premium, which was like $100 a year.
Whoa.
Yeah. I was saying, well, I'm only going to use it once or twice, so I don't think so.
No, not for us.
But it does exist, and there's probably reasonable price ones too. All right. So let me create one for you from scratch. I recently found out how, and I will show you this. So we would love for people to leave Geeks on Tour reviews on Google. You know, when people Google for us, they see reviews. We would like to have some, hopefully 5-star reviews. But it's not easy to find that place in Google to leave that. So I figured that out, and let me show you. In Google Keep, I stored the link that will take people. Yeah. So this link right here, let me show you how it works. Now look at all that. There's no way, and even a shortener, I don't know. Well, a shortener would certainly make that better, but if I follow that link, it takes you straight to the Google review for Geeks on Tour. Pretty cool. That I would love to have as a QR code on our business cards. So how do we do that? I've already copied it. You notice that, right? I copied that long link. But I did it on the computer and I want to show you on the iPad. So I'll have to go. All right. So I'm going to show you on the iPad. And I'm going to use that QR reader by Tap Media. Actually, let me use the phone. There's yeah, the iPhone. There's something weird going on with my screen. And I'm first going to go get that. So I go to Google Keep. Here's the link. I'm going to copy it. Come on. Select all and copy. All right, so I have that link copied. Now I go to the QR reader and I tap the little plus. So from the home, it's this button and then plus to add a new. And that is just a URL, but look at all the, here's how you make the contacts. You can put in your LinkedIn profile, all this stuff. But I'm just doing a website, a URL. And I long press and paste. So that is, and create. And now custom. And if you've paid for the premium version of this, which I did, it's only $3 for the QR reader. You can change the color. You can put a little logo in the middle of it. I'm just going to put a thumbs up in the middle of it. And then save. Now I can use that anywhere. I can share it as a PNG, and I can put it on Facebook. I can store it in my Dropbox. I can send it to somebody via an email, or if I just save the image, then I can print it, or I could just straight print it. So once you've made it, you can do just about anything with it, and anybody who opens that, I'll put it on our Facebook. So I want to put it, this is the one. I'll put it on Geeks on Tour. Done. And leave us a Google review by scanning this code and post.
Can you preload that with 5 stars?
Actually, you used to be able to. Remember that? I think they have taken that that capability away.
Oh, that would be too bad.
Okay. And so that's how you create it on an app. And so you saw how to do it on QR Droid, and you saw how to do it on the iPhone app. And in a minute, when we get there, I will show you how to do it on on the computer.
Sure you will.
Okay. If anybody wants to scan that wedding location one, here it is. And this also points out, it doesn't have to be printed to scan it.
You can scan it right on a screen.
Yeah, from your phone. But what if, now here's a couple other samples that I just thought were really cool. One time we were bicycling and we saw this contraption that you see on the left-hand image there. And do you remember what that was?
That was a bunch of tools for bicycle repair. It was on a bike trail, or at the head of the bike trail, and they had these tools hanging, so you could bring your bicycle over there. You could even hang it up on those little posts, so you could actually do some work with these tools.
But most people would not know how to use these tools. But if they know how to scan a QR code, the QR code was right there at the top of the tools, and it took you to a documentation about how to use this stuff. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yep, bicycle repair instructions.
Yeah.
And then the one next to it there is a video to teach about a Civil War monument. So you see these QR codes all over the place. I noticed several the welcome centers as we travel will have, they have the regular brochures and those things, but more and more of them have QR codes on them as well. It's really kind of
a whole wall full of QR codes.
Right,
so you can scan them.
And posters just with a short description and a QR code so you can find out more, get coupons, save money.
But now one thing, what if, I was being lazy, or we didn't have much time at the Civil War battlefield. I didn't have time to scan and watch the video there, but I figured, I want to watch it when we get back home. How about taking a picture of it? Now, some of the QR code scanning apps can scan from a saved photo as well, but I need to show you this in Google Photos. So I'm going to go to the iPhone, and I do have that photo. So here's my Google Photos, and here is that photo of the Civil War battlefield. Where was this?
I don't remember.
No, Vicksburg.
Vicksburg. Okay.
Or how can I find out where it is? I'm in Google Photos.
You're in Google Photos.
Three-dot menu, info, and sure enough, it was Vicksburg National Military Park. Okay. Now then, I want to scan that QR code. This little button right here is called Lens. And if you tap it, it tries to decipher what it's seeing. Now that QR code is pretty small. Let's see if it works. It does. Right here, it says open. I get open, copy, or share. But that is the URL that QR code is going to. See how it got outlined in the picture? Open.
Below you are the tracks of what historically was known as the Southern Railroad of Mississippi. This rail line, which connected Vicksburg to Jackson and via Jackson points elsewhere.
Is that cool?
That is. That's way cool.
I'm thrilled with that. And now I'm back in Google Photos, and I need to close this window that Lens opened, and then back up. And let's see, I think I did have, I thought I had one more in here. I guess not. Okay, so that's scanning a photo using Google Photos and the Lens button.
It's all pretty new, but it works cool.
So anytime you see a QR code that you think is important, you might want later, just very easy.
Take a picture of it.
Take a picture of it. Use Google Photos. Here's a fun one. We haven't ever, have we actually seen one
I
of
have
these?
seen them, yes. But take a picture, or headstones and gravestones. Kind of crazy. But you see them. I mean, used to be that, you just had a name and a date. Then they started putting pictures on those, and now they put a QR code on it, and you can see all kinds of information. And the guides to the cemeteries a lot of times have QR codes on those, either to guide you to the site of the gravestone or to give you some information about the person that you're standing on there. So
yeah. Now, real genealogists say that that's destructive of a headstone to actually put it on the headstone, but to have it on some little plaque beside it or in a brochure for the cemetery, that's great. I think there was one at Mark Twain's gravesite in Connecticut that we went to last year.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. So creating your own QR codes without an app. You can do this on the web as well. There are several websites. And I'm going to show you this one called QR Stuff. Notice that you can put it on business cards, T-shirts, coffee cups, all sorts of stuff. And yeah, I'm going to use this one called QR Stuff. And notice, and notice here, Bill, they call it a dynamic. Right here. If you choose the dynamic style of QR code, then it will be editable, but you have to be a subscriber in order to edit it. But at least they let you create it that way. So that's what I'm going to do. And notice, look at all these data types. Okay, so let's go do it. Now, here is where I'm going to do a QR code that will take you straight to the actual PDF file of our Google Photos book. Yeah, okay. So the first thing, I'm going to go to the website called QR Stuff. QRstuff.com. And here we go. And the basics are all free. Notice it starts out assuming that you want to put a website URL, and here's the place for a website URL. If instead you want to do a contact, you click on contact details, and I don't know the difference between those two, but now you have a completely different set of information to fill out, not just a website. I really like this one too, an event calendar.
I like the PayPal buy now.
PayPal, right. You can actually get money. Yeah. If you fill out your account, item description, item value, just tell people to scan this code and you get their money. And there is one here. So we keep all of our files in Dropbox. Now, I could just use this website URL because that's what a Dropbox link is. But since it has a specific Dropbox style, I'm going to do that. So now I need to get the link for the Dropbox file. And it is in my Dropbox and Geek thumb drive and our ebooks. And there it is right there. So I right click on it and copy Dropbox link. Now I go back to that website, to the QR Stuff, and I paste that link. And there's my code. And it will just download a PNG file. And I'm going to add another Google Photos book. Save. And here is where they want $7.50 a month if you want to get the dynamic and other things. I'm going to say no thanks. And now I can show you that QR code that I just downloaded. I've done a few, so I got to get the right one. Photos book. That's not the one I just did.
I just sort them by date.
Well, that is. So let's see. I'm going to just scan that on the screen. Make sure it's the right one. And that, you don't have to tap anything. It goes straight to it. And you're looking at the table of contents of the Google Photos book. This is Geek's Guide to Google Photos.
My apologies.
Pretty
I
cool.
understand.
All right. I think that was my finale.
All right. All right, let's see. We have questions here, a couple of things. All right. Want to say hi to Chuck Parker and Tom Parks and Warren Wilson, Bill and Karen, Lolan, Gail West watching from Ecuador.
All right. She's in Cuenca.
Lolan says, locally, the municipality has installed sculptures all over town. Each location has a QR code that takes one to the site to vote for the best sculpture. Isn't that cool?
Wow. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, you could do that for any kind of judging. That sounds like a cool idea. And it worked. Saved and opened to PDF. Wow. See, you're supposed to be paying attention. I think they are. So
Great.
that's pretty cool. We do invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com, search for Geeks on Tour, and click on the little bell for notifications when we go live. Like us on Facebook and leave us a review. Let's see. Wow, that came out kind of messed up. Tech of the week. Okay, instead of an app of the week, we have new tech here. I have a new HP Chromebook, and it's very pretty. It's very pretty. Let's see.
So how many Chromebooks do we have now?
We have 3 Chromebooks
Three
now.
Chromebooks.
Yeah, this is a fancy one. I haven't really done much with it, but it is the newest one. One of the main reasons I got it is it has another camera. So it has a rear-facing camera and a front-facing camera for some of the live things that we're going to be doing as we travel. The one reason, or I wanted a Chromebook for editing, and I wanted to have a touchscreen Chromebook so it runs the Play Store, so it runs all Android apps on a big screen. So one of the really cool things that I like to do is in Google Photos, if I want to do editing and I want to do Snapseed, I can do it on a big screen here. This is just fantastic for me.
And now the screen part does detach, so it's just a great big tablet, right?
Right. It's just a big tablet. It detaches from the screen. It also has a pen. So it has some functionality so you can do real art if you're into that kind of thing. I'm not, but it'll come in handy when I do some of the editing and stuff. But it's just a tablet. It has a keyboard, but it's very steady. It's very sturdy in its hinge. So it really is. It's a laptop computer running Chrome operating system and
ability to run Play Store Android apps.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
And you're not going to take your computer on the dive trip, right?
Correct. I have been taking my old Surface Pro computer on these trips. It's kind of dead. So I wanted something to kind of replace that, and I didn't want to go, full boat on a new Surface Book like Chris has, very expensive, but still a great computer. I think a lot of these places are a lot of people maybe have bought their last operating system computer,
last Windows or
Mac, and a lot of people are going to these Chromes. There are a lot of advantages to them. You don't have to worry about updates. Those things are automatic. They don't get viruses or issues like that. They're very secure. They're lightweight. They're fairly inexpensive. This one was $600, and it was So
that's from Best Buy. It's where
right.
Is where this screenshot comes from.
Right.
And what I am really impressed with it is the camera.
Yeah.
And that's all I care about.
We did our Facebook Live on Thursday with this device, and we think that it has the best camera out of all the devices we've tried so far with that. So
another thing I really like about Chromebooks is how easy it is to have multiple users. You log in as one user and you get all that user's stuff. You log in as another and you get all that user's stuff.
Right. Schools are using them a lot because of that feature. They don't have to have a separate device for all different students, and it's so easy. There was a way to have multiple users on a computer on Windows computers and Apple's, but it's cumbersome. It's not clean, and these things are cloud devices. They want an internet connection, and if you have that, they're good to go. Well,
okay. And we have done episodes on Chromebooks.
Yeah.
So look through our,
And we'll be doing more.
yeah, because they're cool. But I have to take my own with me because you won't let me use yours.
All right. Did you learn something? To scan a QR code, you need a mobile device, an app for scanning codes, and what?
An internet connection. It won't work if your device is not connected.
All right. A QR code is a link to a web page. That's all. True or false?
False. It can do so much.
There, yeah. If you take a photo of a QR code, Google Photos can scan it using this button called what?
Lens.
That's the
Lens.
button. And you'll see more and more features with that lens button. What app did Chris use to create a QR code for a location map?
That was on the Android. So it was QR Droid is the one we used.
Okay. In Geeks on Tour materials, QR codes are used to what?
Play videos.
That's what we're all about,
videos.
tutorial videos. And why do people pay $58 a year to join Geeks on Tour, Chris?
Number one, because they like technology and like to learn, and they'll get all of our learning stuff if they're members. They can also ask questions on our Q&A page where we promise to respond.
We don't promise to answer, but we promise to respond to your question.
And they get the written notes for all of these What Do These Button Do shows. And thank you to the people who sign up just because they want to say thank you for all the free training that they've gotten from us.
Excellent. All right, next time. Well, we will not have a show next week, but watch for notifications for the next show that we will be doing, and we might be in 2 weeks.
We'll be underwater next week.
We'll be blowing bubbles next week, but
the following week we are home, but we will have just gotten off one plane and getting on another. So
who knows? We might bail on you, but we will post on Wednesday a replay.
Yeah, you'll still get your weekly lesson on Wednesday or something.
An encore presentation,
whether it's from a live or a past.
Well, that's it for this week. I hope you learned something. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we are Geeks on Tour, and we'll see you next time.
Keep pushing those buttons.
Yeah, push those buttons.
What does this button do?
Don't push that button.
I like to push your buttons.
You do push my buttons a lot. Bye-bye now.